104.
Ow!
Happy 2-year anniversary.
This was a stupid idea. Wait, is it my turn now?
I guess.
Yes.
Hey, welcome to the Raw Review, the first episode
I hate
of our third year, I guess. Going
So
into
we
year
start-
3. This is our second birthday. 2 years birthday. You alright?
Yeah. Just fucking peachy. Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown. My arm hurts.
I already said that.
You didn't say the arm hurts because somebody forgot that I should have gotten a turn in this.
So yeah, we're going to talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
What matches did the happening?
You alright?
Yep.
I got punched 104 times and you're having a stroke. Raku, great start. We had Cesaro defeat Chris Jericho. We had Rusev defeat Jack Swagger. We had the Vaudevillains defeat Enzo and Cass. We had Alberto Del Rio defeat Sami Zayn. Dean Ambrose defeated Kevin Owens. R-Truth defeated Tyler Breeze. And the Club defeated the New Day. It's a lot of matches.
Yeah.
7 matches. This was a good build for Money in the Bank.
It was.
We had a lot of good story progression in a lot of these feuds.
Yeah.
We opened up with probably the most interesting promo we've ever had. We had
Maybe not ever, but
the most unique maybe.
one of the most unique looking promos.
Because we had Dean Ambrose on his way to the ring, and when he got in, he'd be scaling the 6th ladder in which his other 5 Money in the Bank opponents would all be sitting atop theirs as well. And we get this kind of the usual banter that we've gotten between each one. You know, you got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have their issues.
What was it like? Really, Jericho was the only one actually sitting.
Jericho was he was just trying to get people to fire shots at him. He was wearing his scarf. He's in his gear. He's sitting with his legs crossed on the top of the ladder. He was convinced he had won a Money in the Bank, and Sami Zayn was trying.
He was trying to convince the other guys.
And Sami Zayn's like, "Oh yeah, which one is it? The first one? The first one? No, the 6th one? Oh, the 6th one. Really? Where was that?
Apple.
Apple? Did you just say Apple?
Appleton.
Appleton.
The Big Apple.
Oh, so you won it in New York?
It's a stupid idiotville.
Cesaro goes, "Oh, so you won it in your hometown?" And then Jericho threw it back to, "I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot." It was interesting. You know, Del Rio.
That whole bit was funny though.
Del Rio saying that Sami Zayn was a flea-infested dog. Del Rio really brought it all down. Del Rio had the least creative insults on anybody else. But eventually, this leads to Jericho telling the other 5 guys to get down, and then saying he's giving everyone the gift of Jericho, drink it in. Dean Ambrose gets off his ladder, walks up the other side of Jericho's, and punches him in the face, so he falls off. Then we get fighting all over the place. It's just complete and utter insanity, and someone's got to bring some order to the chaos that is at ringside. None other than Teddy motherfucking Long.
And he sets an epic main event for the evening.
A triple threat, fatal 4-way, 6-way Iron Man challenge. And Stephanie's like, no.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing
Stephanie
that.
came out and said,
She put the kibosh on that one real fast.
Nice try, Teddy.
She's wondering how he got in the building, who played his music. She actually makes him go away and says, don't play his music. And then she makes the matches between Zayn and Del Rio, Ambrose and Owens, Jericho and Cesaro, making Cesaro versus Jericho the opening match, which was good because Cesaro had already ripped his suit off.
Yeah.
So then we go into that match. They had some great chemistry. I want more singles matches between these two. This was fun. And the end especially, it was such a good reversal after reversal bit where Cesaro tried to go for the swing. Jericho was able to turn it into the walls. Cesaro fought out of the walls, got into the swing, and then Jericho tried to get the walls again, and then went for a or no. After he got out of the walls, he turned it into the. Hang on, I'm messing this up.
He went straight from the swing to the sharpshooter.
Right. So he blocked the slingshot after he got out of the walls. Jericho tried to do the slingshot on Cesaro, and he stopped it halfway, and then stepped into the swing, swung him 11 times, turned it into the sharpshooter, then made Jericho tap out. I got it right that time. So Cesaro, that's a big win for Cesaro.
Yeah.
Beating multi-time champion, definite Hall of Famer, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
We moved on to a rematch from Smackdown, Rusev versus Jack Swagger. This one had Titus at ringside. This was okay. It was a match. It happened. A clever end where we had one of the biggest clotheslines. That double clothesline from Rusev and Jack Swagger. They knocked the shit out of each other. Rusev was like dazed for a good 2-3 seconds, and then kind of like shook his head. The referee's counting, and we get kind of a battle between the two of them, who's trying to get back into the ring before the countout happens, and it ends with Rusev actually shoving Swagger into Titus O'Neil. Rusev gets back in. Rusev wins by countout, and then we had both Swagger and Titus O'Neil attack Rusev for no reason. Rusev is the victim in this storyline. Especially when Titus happens. I have a feeling that Kevin Hawk has zoned out of this particular segment. So let's move on.
Are we done with the Titus bit?
Yeah, we're talking about when John Cena came out and was
Yay!
You've never been so excited for John Cena.
No, it's just now when Titus comes out, I have to go to my happy place.
Yeah. John Cena makes his way out, talks about what happened between him and AJ Styles last week, and he wants an answer as to why AJ did the things he did. And so AJ and the club come out.
He's like, hey, wasn't it so funny last week when I tra-la-la-la-la on your face?
Multiple times.
Yeah. Well, he beat him up, and then he like rolled out of the ring, and fucking Luke Gallows was like, remember what he did to Wade Barrett?
Motherfucker!
Beat him up, and he didn't get out. He's like, remember what he did to Damian Sandow?
Motherfucker!
Yeah.
Yeah. AJ getting revenge for all of the people that unfortunately got buried by Cena, which they mentioned a lot of things in this promo that are usually just kind of like words you hear. They're not usually used in promos. Like John Cena straight up calling them the Bullet Club, and then
all the smarks on the internet died of dorkgasms.
And then AJ saying that because John Cena asked why it can't just be John Cena versus AJ Styles. Why does it have to be John Cena versus the club? And AJ says, because guys like you, when you beat a guy like me, it's time to pull out the shovels because people like you bury guys like me. So Gallows and Anderson are my insurance policy to make sure that AJ Styles keeps his head above ground.
Yeah.
At this point,
shots fired.
They had some great words back and forth. It's already just a natural build between these guys.
Some of them were nouns and some of them were adjectives. But they were great.
Thanks for that analysis. That's 2 years worth of the wrestling rundown.
Hey!
Man, I couldn't have said it any better. The club makes their way down to ringside, and very much Wyatt family Shield-esque surround three sides of the ring and start to go into fight John Cena. But John Cena is saved by the New Day, and the club are like, oh, hell no. No, we're going to walk away. And so that's setting up more for the six-man tag team main event that we have scheduled.
Vince has some sort of thing against making stables with more than 3 people.
Yeah, the biggest one in the last God knows how long was the Authority.
Yeah. But it would make way more sense for groups like the Club or, the ones you mentioned in the past, like the Shield, to get 4th members like the Wyatt family.
Mm-hmm.
The Wyatt family, they have 4. If you don't remember who they are, that's Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman. They haven't been on TV in a while.
2 of them are hurt. The other 2 are the weaker links of the group.
Yeah. Because when you have a group like Styles, Gallows, and Anderson surrounding the ring, it always leaves one side open for Escape or someone else to jump in.
Yeah. I'm still holding out hope. I know it's probably not going to happen, but I'm hoping that when he gets called up, we get Finn Balor joining the club. I want Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson as a 4-man group, and they can still be called the club. Because it can't be called Bullet Club. That's fine. This isn't Japan. Anyway, moving on. We had a rematch between the Vaudevillains and Enzo and Cass, which had some good animosity build in this because we had Aiden English try to recreate what happened to Enzo at Payback.
Yeah.
Slid him under the bottom rope the same way. Enzo did his best to try and emulate while not actually knocking himself unconscious. We appreciate that. And then we see Cass snap.
Yeah.
Cass is like, the fuck do you think you're doing? He whoops the shit out of Aiden English. Referee ends up calling for a disqualification. Gotch gets in.
Aiden English was trying to take refuge in the corner.
Yeah.
And Cass wouldn't let up before a 5 count.
Yeah, referee backed him off like 3 times. He just kept going back. And calls for the disqualification. Gotch gets a boot to the face. Aiden English rolls out of the ring, and Gotch ends up getting hit with the East River Crossing, while Enzo just watches Cass destroy these guys. And Enzo was like, oh, okay. And then they're like,
even he looked a little surprised.
Yeah, they hugged, and I'm pretty sure Enzo's like, bro, I'm okay. You don't have to kill people when I get hurt. It's okay. So, Cass needs to take a chill pill. But they're like brothers. I understand. You do that for people you love. We had Tom interview Sami Zayn about
Tom Phillips. Hashtag don't get Tom.
Hashtag YoungBoy Tom. For those of you that watch Up, Up, Down, Down. He interviewed Sami Zayn, asking him what a win over would mean heading into Money in the Bank. And Sammy starts listing things off, and he gets interrupted by Del Rio. Del Rio calling him a flea-infested dog again.
I like the way Del Rio is playing himself up in this build to Money in the Bank, though, because he is the guy who won Money in the Bank before.
Yes.
And so he was able to drop that line like, yeah, it's your dream to win Money in the Bank and become the champion, but your dream's already been my reality.
Yeah.
I've already accomplished what you can only wish of accomplishing.
Del Rio being the only guy in this match that's won Money in the Bank before.
Yeah.
So he's definitely got the upper hand as far as he knows what it takes to win. We had Teddy Long show up in Stephanie's office,
playing his theme song on his phone.
Which oh my god, she's just yelling at him to shut it off. And he comes up with a really good idea.
He's like,
if this is why I should run SmackDown, because I'd take this this tag team situation you got going on, and I'd work with it. You got Enzo and Cass, you got the Vaudevillains, they both deserve shots at it. But then you got to think you got Gallows and Anderson, they've been making names for themselves. So what are you gonna do? Why pick one of them when you can have all of them? So he's thinking a fatal 4-way for Money in the Bank tag team titles. New Day defends against the Club, the Vaudevillains, and Enzo and Cass. And Stephanie's like, okay, here's the thing. We're not deciding who's running SmackDown yet. I appreciate how into this you are, but please leave my office. And Teddy's like, okay. And Teddy leaves. And then she calls marketing and she's like, hey, I got this great idea for a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match at Money in the Bank. So it's official. We're getting a Fatal 4-Way for the tag team titles.
She's so proud she thought of it herself.
Yeah. And then
good on you, Stephanie.
JBL's like, that's brilliant! A great match made by Stephanie. She's such a genius. Alberto versus Sami Zayn. It felt forced to me. There was a lot of stuff that didn't really flow well, and they went for the double stomp twice at the end, and it just seemed like they couldn't get the right combination of moves into the end. So it fell really flat for me. If you liked it, post down in the comments. Let us know.
I'm going to be completely honest. I can't say that I was blown away by any of the 3 Money in the Bank singles matches.
See, for me, Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose is something that we've seen. I really liked Jericho versus Cesaro.
Yeah, that was the best one, definitely.
And then, Sami Zayn and Alberto just fell really flat for me. I didn't. Yeah. I felt like they were kind of 1-2-3, 1-2-3 in their match. It didn't feel natural. But yeah, Del Rio wins after a second attempt.
That might be like the first or maybe second time they've ever wrestled.
Yeah, true. Which is why I was excited because I don't think I've seen them face each other before. So I was excited to see that matchup. But yeah, Del Rio winning after a second attempt at the double stomp. And then just before their match, we had Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens meet in the back. They had some funny banter, which they always do because they've done this 100 times at this point.
Kevin was pointing out the fact that earlier Dean mentioned that he would fight aliens, the mole people, or a polar bear.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that part. Yeah, Dean Ambrose is willing to fight anyone and anything when he becomes WWE World Champion. So in the match, we get another fantastic. I mean, they have such good chemistry. It's always good. You know, it's just we see it every other week, so there's only so much we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But
it's slowly becoming the been there, done that match.
Yeah, which, especially with these guys, because they have such good chemistry, stop, give it a month, and then do it again. At least.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose ends up picking the win. Owens goes for a pop-up powerbomb. Ambrose is able to hold on to the ropes, and Owens goes over to grab him, and Ambrose is able to turn it into Dirty Deeds, drops him, decides he wants to be the one to go up and undo the briefcase like Cesaro did last week. He attempts to go up the ladder, gets pushed off by Owens. Then Owens just kind of stands there by the ladder. I guess this was probably a brilliant move because he realized what happened last time. He just stands there and points to the briefcase and says, at Money in the Bank, this will be mine. So,
yeah,
don't climb the ladder when you don't have to. We had Charlotte try to mend...
Does Kevin Owens look like the guy who would do excessive ladder climbing to you?
Not necessarily.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, is Owens' whole idea was like, I'm going to have to probably at least go up the ladder 2 to 3 times at Money in the Bank top, like minimum.
I already did it so many times a couple months ago at WrestleMania,
So he's keeping his ladder climbing to a minimum until Money in the Bank. Because he doesn't want to get blown up before Money in the Bank.
Gotcha. Charlotte tried to mend the issues with what happened with Ric Flair a couple weeks ago. Trying to... I don't know if she was like... She was apologizing.
Yeah.
Saying that, she doesn't want to ruin the relationship that she has with her dad. She just knows that she needs to do stuff on her own.
She just wish he died in the womb.
Thank you, Nikki.
Wait, wrong Family Feud?
Yeah,
Right.
Definitely the wrong feud.
It's... I understand what they were going for, but it's a really hard scenario to have a character try and backstep.
See, and for me, I don't like the Charlotte Ric Flair thing at all. I think the original promo that started this was extremely awkward and very, very unplanned. It didn't translate well on TV. The fact that they've tried to continue with it and use that to make Charlotte a heel does not do anything for me. The second half of this particular segment worked despite how awful this whole setup was to it. Because while she's trying to apologize and say all these things, she gets interrupted by Natty and Becky Lynch. And Natty and Becky are trying to convince Dana, who's now teamed up with Charlotte, that Charlotte has literally turned on everyone she's ever been with, including her father.
Yeah.
And Becky brings up the point, she turned on her own flesh and blood. Do you really think you're that special, Dana? And you see Dana's like starting to really think about this, and then Charlotte realizes that Dana's like, oh, I might be on the wrong side of this whole situation.
Yeah, so she tries to instigate immediately to for them to leave. So yeah, let's go. We don't need this.
And Dana's like, I don't know. And then she takes one little side step to the right, and then she really kind of realizes, and she walks over and she's actually standing next to Natty and Becky, which this actually the crowd was like, awesome! They convinced Dana to do this. This is great. And then Dana attacks Natty, and I was like, oh, I get what this was.
Then Becky got so mad at Dana, she tried to charge her despite the fact that she dropped Natty between the two of them, and so Becky just charges and trips over Natalia.
Right over Natty's head. But this ends in Charlotte has Natty in a dragon sleeper, and Dana is just beating the fuck out of Becky, and then hits her with the Michinoku driver. And so I'm seeing a women's tag team match here pretty soon. Though on SmackDown we are getting Becky versus Dana, so one-on-one match for those two ladies. We'll see where this goes from. Yeah. Then my favorite segment of the night. Breeze Dongo making their way to the ringside, matching vests.
Yeah. And then we get a little what happened backstage earlier today moment.
Yes. It was Tyler Breeze shaving the back of Fandango, and he ends up accidentally nicking Fandango, and Fandango turns around, and Tyler Breeze talks about this one time in Malaysia. He's like, I had this experimental thing done where they just took all the hair follicles out of my body. And he's like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it makes all your muscles pop. Makes you more
aerogigantic. And Tyler Breeze is like, aerogigantic? What's that? It's like, it makes you cut through the air like a giant arrow. Science, bro. And Tyler's like, science. I've heard of that.
And he's like, yeah, I know that.
Why? I'm gonna question this every week, but why are they so good? It's so good. This leads into a singles match.
I'm gonna be real right now. I feel like the New Day's Fatal 4-Way at Money in the Bank is a throwaway match at this point because they need to have them feud with Breeze Dongo.
I think Breeze Dongo needs to be the reason that something happened. It just completely fucks the whole matchup because Breeze Dongo makes their way down. Maybe we get Breeze Dongo and Golden Truth and the Dudleys and just a couple, maybe even the Shining Stars if they're even still a thing. Have them run down and get involved in this situation, realizing that there's so many other tag teams on the roster. I think that'd be fun to see. But yeah, Breeze Dongo needs to be.
Yeah, there needs to be back and forth between Breeze Dongo and Xavier Woods.
Oh my god!
If you have Xavier Woods and the Breeze Dongo pairing, going back,
it'd be
and forth.
so good. This match was speaking of throwaway matches, Fandango ends up trying to grab Truth's leg. It's a one-on-one match, Truth and Tyler Breeze. Fandango tries to grab Truth's leg. Goldust comes around, punches Fandango in the face. They fight a little bit, and then for some reason, Goldust decides to throw Fandango into the ring, even though they're not involved in the match.
Yeah.
It trips up R-Truth, so technically Tyler Breeze gets disqualified for that, and then it's just a bunch of fighting, and then Breezango gets knocked out of the ring.
Well, no, they
end up like avoiding a double clothesline. It was gonna be a double clothesline, but they get out of the ring, and then someone has to make some sense of all this chaos. So why not Teddy Long once again going, no. See, it ain't gonna end like that, players. We're gonna have ourselves a tag team match. Holla. He's waiting for his music to play. Holla. And then there's security guards behind him who escort him to the back, where he runs into Stephanie, and Stephanie reams him like, I let you stay, and you came in and you ruined it.
What was like the big thing was like she said, I let you stay for my own amusement.
Yeah. So Stephanie used Teddy just to make her laugh. And pretty much says that there's no way that a old former general manager of SmackDown is going to be running live SmackDown in July.
Therefore, she disqualifies herself.
Oh. But then, wait a second.
Because she was also a former general manager of SmackDown.
Stephanie didn't choose her words right. She still thinks it's going to be her.
Yeah.
Which means it's probably going to be Shane.
Because she threw in the word vivacious.
No one's more vivacious than Stephanie. But she kicks Teddy Long out of the building completely. So he leaves through what didn't really look like an exit.
Yeah.
But they're probably going to play it off as an exit. It was a door. He walked out. He left the building. We find out that next week on Raw, we're going to be getting the return of the Ambrose Asylum.
Oh!
Now, this in itself is just why. Why did we even have to do the thing where we got rid of it if we're just going to bring it back? But I'm excited that it's back because this is going to be a segment where Dean Ambrose is hosting and his guests are going to be Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. So we're going to be having all three members of the Shield in the ring for the first time since the Fatal 4-Way match last year with Randy Orton.
Yeah, something like that.
So I'm excited to see this. And I think this reinforces my idea that Dean Ambrose is winning Money in the Bank, because they are definitely building some sort of tension between all three members of the Shield. Considering the history of Rollins versus Reigns started with the Shield, I feel like, especially having Dean Ambrose suddenly involved in this, it needs to come full circle. We need to have that triple threat match. It could be at SummerSlam. I'd rather it be at WrestleMania, but let's do it.
Yeah, I think they're going to tease it for SummerSlam and not give it to you.
Think so?
Yeah. I feel like this is going to be, if they hold out for anything, since they're not holding out for SummerSlam or Mania to do Cena Styles.
That bugs me, by the way. I didn't mention that. I wish that was saved till SummerSlam.
I feel like this might be the one that they're going to let, like, slow boil.
Let it simmer.
But I think what would be almost the best idea to get a little bit of a ratings boost, or just a little notoriety boost, is to have either like the New Day or the Club come out during this promo and almost tease like they're gonna get the Shield back together.
Oh, okay.
To fight off somebody else. Is it gonna happen? Probably not. Should it happen? I think the crowd would get so hyped up just to be disappointed by Seth Rollins.
Great way to add more heel points, and Seth Rollins can do it. Just do it. Anyway, we go into our main event, which is a 6-man tag team match. The New Day taking on the Club. We get a pre-match promo, as per usual, with the New Day, where they keep making fun of the fact that they're not a really good club. And they think that because they are in a club, the club of the WWE World Tag Team Champions, that's the only club that really matters. So therefore, your club doesn't matter. And so, words, building tensions, we get the teams face to face. I was excited for this. And then all hell breaks loose. They just start beating the shit out of each other. Like we're getting paired off. Anderson ends up moving out of the way, and Big E goes face first into the stairs.
I want to know sometimes where the referee decides ringing the bell versus not ringing the bell. Because sometimes when you get two wrestlers or, feuding rivals of any kind, and they get in the ring and they just start fighting, sometimes the referee automatically rings the bell to start the match.
Mm-hmm.
But then occasionally, the referee will decide not to ring the bell.
So my reasoning for this, if I was the referee, he wasn't going to ring the bell until he got the two of each teams on the apron, one guy from each in the ring, start the match. So the fact that they just start fighting, he hasn't really got them in place. It's one of those things you got to suspend your disbelief in wrestling. Just deal with it. So we get a big old fight. Xavier Woods goes nuts on this. He's beating the shit out of AJ Styles in the ring. He ends up diving onto Gallows.
Yeah, that's when he should have started the match. It's because then everybody else was on the outside. He only had AJ and Xavier.
I think he was on. I think he was outside trying to deal with something out there at the time. I don't know what was happening, but Xavier Woods ends up diving onto Gallows, gets back in, and knocks the shit out of AJ again. Knocks him to the outside. He tries to springboard or slingshot onto AJ. Gets stopped. Anderson ends up kicking him in the face on the apron, and AJ is actually able to pick him up from there and then hit the Styles Clash on the outside. And we go to commercial. We come back finding out that Xavier Woods isn't able to wrestle the match, so Kofi and Big E go in 3-on-2 handicap. And they are none too happy. Kofi goes right at Anderson, beats the crap out of him for a while. Gallows gets tagged in. We get E tagged in, and it's so good.
Yeah,
I love this combination so much, and it amazes me that despite how popular the Bullet Club is, the crowd was very much behind the New Day.
Yeah, I mean, the Bullet Club is popular, but this was a thing we noticed particularly in where they're at, Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
The crowd was also really pro-Cena.
Yes.
When he was promoing.
It's a babyface town.
When he was promoing with the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So I feel like, it was, very much we're going to cheer for the babyfaces, not for the indie guys just because they're cool.
Yeah. And so, you've got the numbers game throughout this match, which ends up taking its toll. Kofi at one point is actually trying to fight pretty much all three members of the club by himself. Big E gets in and is able to take out Anderson, but that still leaves Kofi to try and deal with AJ and Gallows. He knocks AJ to the side, ends up drop kicking Gallows out of the ring, but when he gets up, he turns around right into the Styles Crash, and Styles picks up the win for the club. We get the 3-on-2 beatdown, and Cena, in return for the New Day coming out and saving him earlier, comes out. They lay waste to the club. Everyone hits a big move on one member of the club, ending with the AA on Gallows from Cena, and we go off the air with the New Day sans Xavier Woods and John Cena celebrating in the ring while the club looks all grumpy.
The Grumpy Club.
The Grumpy Club.
That's what club they are.
And they're managed by Grumpy Cat.
Sure.
Cherry would lose her mind if Grumpy Cat and AJ Styles teamed up together.
Yeah.
that was it for Monday Night Raw. That is it for the Raw review.
Hey, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe.
I didn't even thank them for watching. Thanks for watching. Share the video with your friends, your neighbors, aunts, uncles, enemies, doesn't matter who it is. Share the video with somebody.
Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe.
You already said that part. Be sure to click all the links down in the description. They'll take you to all of our different social medias. Check out that podcast link because it might work this week. Sorry for those of you that missed out on podcast last week. SoundCloud wasn't working for me. So, starting with this video, we're going to try it again. So you get all of episode 104 as a podcast. But if you don't want to listen to it as a podcast, if you want to watch the videos, you need to check out that playlist.
Yeah. And don't forget to like and comment and subscribe.
Check out the videos that are going to be in the playlist because we're going to be having our usual stuff, but the midweek wrap-up is going to be a little bit more special because we got NXT TakeOver The End. So you'll probably get a switch up. We're probably going to do main event, Lucha Underground, and then we'll finish with NXT TakeOver. So be sure to check that out. You'll have your SmackDown rundown, your indie news, and possibly some extra videos throughout the week celebrating the fact that we've been hitting this for 2 years now. We want to thank all of you that have subscribed, all of you that have shared videos, viewed the videos, liked the videos, checked out the podcast, all that stuff.
All of you who didn't forget to like and comment and subscribe.
We're also going to be hopefully getting some more content over on the other channel. Resources aren't all that great right now. We're trying to remedy that. Shitty computer, that's what it is. Trying to work on that. So, let us know what you think about the couple videos that are over there. Hopefully Thomas Wolfe comes back next week. But he's looking to do something in his life right now. So, it's just us for a little while. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
It's good. Happy 2-year anniversary. Us.
Fuck Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.